Those are my secret ingredients to keep it going for the long term. Hi there, and welcome back to Ask Dr. Syra, the show where I answer your questions about personal growth, mental health, and relationships. Today's question comes from Rebecca. Rebecca says, after 15 years of marriage, my husband and I are still so different. Is this normal? Shouldn't we be seeing eye to eye by now? After 15 years of marriage, my husband and I are still so different. Is this normal? Shouldn't we be seeing eye to eye by now? Well, in a word, no. You should not be seeing eye to eye by now. In the research, what we found is that couples that actually make it, that actually last for the long haul, actually don't have that much in common. 68% of what they share is actually not in common. 68% of things they do not actually see eye to eye about. These are the long-lasting marriages. So it's a fallacy to think that, oh, over time, I'm going to make them more like me, right? Because that's the secret hope. It's like, I don't want to be like them. They can be like me. No, it's normal and it's okay to not see eye to eye, to be very different. It's okay. It's part of the beauty and the complexity of long-lasting lifetime relationships is that you won't see eye to eye. So that's the facts, 68%. The second thing I would tell you is think about what you're prioritizing in your marriage, right? If you talk to couples that have been married, under 10 years, they'll talk about how communication is the most important thing. When they're given a list, they'll pick communication as their number one thing that needs to be in place in order for the couple to be thriving for the long term. But when you actually talk to couples who have been together for the long haul, like over 30 years, they'll talk about mutual respect as the most important ingredient for long-lasting, successful marriage. Mutual respect. Mutual respect means I'm willing to let you be you and not judge you for it, right? To actually see deeper than the surface level of your day-to-day and actually have a deep abiding respect for you. That's what makes marriage last, is deep abiding mutual respect for each other, according to the research. So number one, 68% of what you have in common, you actually don't have in common. 68% of your values, your outlooks, your interests will be different, and that's normal. Second, mutual respect trumps trying to be the same, right? Or trying to make them change. And finally, I would say acceptance, right? That it's so easy to think about all of the things that are wrong with our loved ones. Like you can just come up with them. Probably really easy to think about all the things that are wrong with you. It's just how our brain is designed. Our brain is designed to look for problems and to find problems to solve. And so if there aren't too many problems, we'll start creating problems in our mind, in our relationships. To accept someone, to actually let them be who they are and not try to change them, that is such a gift in a long-term relationship, right? Wouldn't it be nice if you were just fully accepted as you are, instead of the nitpicking and the wanting to make you better and the wanting to improve you? That takes a toll over time. And if you're feeling like this person isn't who I need them to be yet, well, that's kind of insulting to that person, isn't it? Right? And so letting go of relationship as a project mindset, right? Just accepting the relationship as it is and enjoying what there is to enjoy about it now, rather than waiting it for it to become something that you were hoping that maybe it would become. Acceptance takes away some of that pressure and some of that like doubt of, is this, maybe I shouldn't be with this, is this working, is this how it's supposed to be? Part of our issue, I think, as a society, is that we've made this strange, unattainable myth about what marriage is supposed to be. This like myth. I see it in when I'm watching TV all the time, right? That they seem to be passionate like every day and every night. It seems like they can just have babies and then their babies are like somewhere and they don't have to actually wake up in the middle of the night to feed them in these shows. I'm watching this one show. So the character just had a baby's a newborn, but they're like going out to dinners and and I'm like, where's the baby? Like, who's got the baby? Aren't your breasts like leaking milk right now? But we don't see like the reality of parenting and families is not described to us. The fantasies are described, and so we can start internalizing that that's how it should be, and it's really not. So that would be the third thing I would say is be working on acceptance. Now, it's going to be difficult to accept your partner if you have a hard time accepting yourself, right? If you're still self-judgmental, if you're still self-critical, then that can get in the way of you being able to actually genuinely um, be respectful and admiring of another. That's not to say there's never room for growth. Absolutely, we're growing all the time. We're changing, we're evolving, we're becoming better. But can you accept where you are as you are today? Knowing that, certain life experiences that brought you here, the easier you can do that for yourself, the more likely it's going to be that you can do that for your spouse. So those are my thoughts. 3 things. Remembering that majority of what we have in common, we don't have in common, right? Majority of our interactions will be coming from different lenses, 68%. Second is mutual respect. So that deep, abiding respect for the other person trumps it all. And then finally, learning to accept your partner as they are and accepting yourself as you are. Those are my secret ingredients to keep it going for the long term. So hopefully that was helpful. And if you have a question, feel free to write in to Dragonfly Wellness Center. We'd love to hear from you. And I'll see you next time. Bye.